Aries, if the conversation that was left hanging keeps coming back, maybe it doesn't want patience. It wants a decision. Put everything in one room. The unfinished conversation, the answer you keep avoiding, and the point that needs a shape. Mars is adding friction to the nearby field of words, exchanges, and your immediate environment. The point is not to win the scene, but not to lose your clarity while you act. This is a short, unglamorous scene. One answer, one choice, one cut, and the block loses its aura. As long as you keep watching it, that unfinished conversation feels bigger. The moment you choose the first step, it loses power. The stake is to use pressure to decide, not to build a more polished version of delay. The risk is calling a polished block calm. It makes no noise, but it still keeps you in the same place. Move. Take the smallest piece that creates real movement, and do it before it turns back into theory. Send it to the person who needs to choose the right cut today, instead of the best excuse. Taurus. The breakthrough doesn't come when everything is clear. It comes when you stop circling. Test that work move that can't be postponed anymore against reality. Less interpretation, more consequence. With Mars under pressure, the resources money value axis is asking for a short, precise move, not a war of position. This is the kind of moment when you realize the block needs less thinking and more action. As long as you keep watching it, that work move that can't be postponed anymore looks bigger. The moment you choose the first step, it loses power. For Taurus, calm turns into a trap when standing still costs more than choosing. Today, the real loss would be staying intelligent inside an impasse that has already asked for enough time. If you don't touch that block today, tomorrow may cost you more energy for the same choice. Move, close a door, send the reply, shift the commitment. Just one thing, but make it real. Come back when you're ready to call stalling prudence. Gemini. Don't pay with presents just because talking about price makes you uncomfortable. The day opens with one precise issue. A willingness that could turn into debt doesn't want atmosphere. It wants a position. The Moon-Mercury passage on the resources money value axis measures the quality of your tone. Being right is not enough. Value becomes respectable when you name it before that willingness turns into debt. This is the moment when time and money start speaking the same language. Limit, measure, confirmation. For Gemini, understanding everything is not enough if the boundary never turns into a choice. If the cost stays implied, the day often picks the cheapest price for everyone else, not for you. Leave the practical measure vague, and someone will use that opening to their own advantage. Move. Separate the desire for peace from the real price. Then decide which one you can actually sustain. Come back before you give away, out of politeness, what really needs measure, a number, or a boundary. Cancer. Today, the opening doesn't arrive shouting. It comes through a concrete opening in career. The cut doesn't close life. It closes the point that kept eating your direction. When the Moon and Mercury pull on the identity-body-presence axis, the atmosphere changes through small details and non-random words. This is a practical door, not a dream. Either you touch it now, or you find it already turned into delay. Real openings rarely show up twice with the same clarity. A concrete opening in career needs to be treated as living time. The stake is knowing whether you really want the movement you keep talking about, or just the comfort of imagining it. For Cancer, protecting everyone gets expensive when you lose your center right where it matters. If you let that opening evaporate, you don't only lose a chance. You also lose trust in your own ability to recognize it. Move. Don't open 3 scenarios. Confirm the small step that keeps the best possibility alive. Come back before you close a door, just because it asks for your presence. Leo. The tired part is not an obstacle to your day. It is the most honest clue about where you're pushing too hard. The line is there to protect the center. Your body's rhythm can't stay open at your expense. The sun's transit through the identity-body-presence axis asks for clean exposure. Less backstage, more visible action. It's a quieter room, a notification left outside,
a body that stops negotiating. When you remove pressure in the right place, your body's rhythm gives back more clarity than another test of endurance ever could. The stake is protecting the living margin that shapes your tone, your response, and your ability to choose well. For Leo, the center is not defended by making a scene, but by choosing cleanly. If you keep denying space to the tired part, the day can work on the outside while draining you on the inside. Move. Reduce one concrete demand before it becomes the center of your mood. Keep it with you for the moment when resting starts to feel like a guilty choice.
Virgo. The attraction today only matters if it leaves your measure intact, not if it forces you to chase. This is where what matters is exposed. An emotional silence that weighs more than expected tests the version of yourself you want to keep standing. Mars is activating the home roots emotional base area. The spark is there, but it's up to you to use it to open, not burn.
It's a sentence that could truly bring you closer, or buy a little peace for a few hours.
For Virgo, the risk is refining the edges so much that you never touch the knot. It's not enough for that emotional silence to make you feel alive. It also has to leave you clearer, not more dependent on someone else's response. The stake is simple. Don't let fear of being unseen choose for you. The risk is confusing intensity with direction. One thing lights you up, the other leaves you intact. Move. Notice what truly sparks you, then choose the gesture that keeps you inside yourself. Send it to the person who needs to choose dignity without cooling the heart. Libra. Today, love doesn't reward the performance. It rewards the true sentence. This is an emotional moment that may seem small, but it measures the way you protect yourself while you want. Hold the scene steady. There is one concrete point where an emotional pact that still has no shape loses its ambiguity. With the Moon and Mercury in tension, the relationship agreement confrontation field asks you to separate feeling from message before reacting. The emotional signal only matters if that pact doesn't ask you to betray your center. For Libra, the risk is saving the atmosphere and losing the boundary you actually needed. A small truth today is worth more than a dramatic gesture that will need explaining tomorrow. If that signal moves you but doesn't protect you, the bill can arrive as confusion, dependence, or surrendered dignity. Move. Strip away the seductive line and leave the true one, even if it's shorter. Send it to the person who feels deeply but needs to protect their center more carefully. Scorpio. Value is lost slowly. One exception, then a habit, then a debt. The proof arrives quietly. A measure nobody has named yet shows itself in the way it shifts you without making a scene. Mars is activating the resources money value axis. Action is needed, but it has to be guided before impulse takes over. This is a practical question dressed up as a favor. If you don't measure it, it takes more space than expected. If nobody names the bill, that unnamed measure can turn into the usual advantage of the person who insists better than you do. For Scorpio, the day rewards you if you name the raw point before building strategy around it. The risk is accepting the wrong measure today and having to defend an eroded boundary tomorrow. The real loss is looking accommodating while you're actually giving away measure without ever dealing with it. Move. Ask for the number, the measure, or the detail before you offer emotional availability as an advance. Send it to the person who is paying for peace with their own resources today. Sagittarius. There's a narrow window for Sagittarius. Wait too long, and it turns into noise. The day leaves you two doors open. In one, you keep peace for an hour. In the other, you keep respect for the real point. With Jupiter expanding the vision travel study axis, the point is not to have more. It's to know what truly deserves space. This is a light-footed passage, the kind that rewards the people who don't confuse caution with sleep. The right moment doesn't need to convince you. It just needs to catch you awake enough to use a passage that widens the horizon. If you wait to feel sure, the useful moment can become something else entirely. For Sagittarius, the risk is wanting to stay open to everything and leaving exactly what matters without shape.
If that widening passage stays suspended, tomorrow you may call chance what was clearly choice today. Move. Choose where the opening is most real, and give it an immediate minimal shape, so it can't evaporate. Keep it with you for the next few hours, before the opening starts to feel ordinary.
Capricorn. Today, real care has a boundary, not an excuse. The opportunity is not huge, but it is real. Give an emotional refuge that needs rebalancing an answer while it's still alive. With the moon against Mercury, the home root's emotional base area becomes sensitive. Tone, response, and silence carry more weight. This is the point where recovery stops looking like a luxury and returns to being the base that keeps the rest from going wrong. Recovery is not a decorative pause. It is the condition that keeps the day from being handed over to the most exhausted part of you. For Capricorn, today asks for structure in service of truth, not only endurance. The stake is not spending good energy to support a shape that no longer serves you. If you keep sacrificing that emotional refuge, clarity will pay before results do. Move. Choose a concrete break, not a symbolic one. Less exposure, less noise, more real breath. Save it before you call discipline what is already consuming your center. Aquarius, today you don't have to win the day. You have to reclaim a piece of breath. The right lens reduces the chaos. A part of you asking for a truce becomes legible when you stop trying to sweeten it. Uranus is bringing disruption to the desire, creativity, pleasure field. The unexpected only works if you turn it into a choice. This is the kind of day that can keep going strong outside while asking you not to spend your last margin as if it were endless. Practical care has little theater and a lot of effect. Lower the noise before it starts giving orders. For Aquarius, seeing farther doesn't help if the part of you asking for a truce never becomes a concrete choice. The right shelter doesn't take away your strength. It keeps you from wasting it in the wrong place. If you keep sacrificing that breath, clarity will pay before results do. Move. Choose a concrete break, not a symbolic one. Less exposure, less noise, more real breath. Come back before urgency gets the part of you that should have stayed clear. Pisces. Don't lose a still fragile practical opportunity. It may look small, but it can shift the day. Tighten the field. A still fragile practical opportunity is the point where the day stops being generic. The moon against Mercury makes the resources money value axis nervous. Silence, if used badly, can speak as loudly as a sentence. This is a practical door, not a dream. Either you touch it now, or you find it already turned into delay. The opening doesn't stay open out of politeness. If this opportunity calls, it wants a response before it turns back into habit. Today, the real loss would be treating as noise the passage that can restore direction to the day. For Pisces, sensitivity only really helps when it stops protecting the undefined. If you let this opening evaporate, you don't only lose a chance, you also lose trust in your ability to recognize it. Move. Choose where the opening is most real, and give it an immediate minimal shape so it can't evaporate. Send it to the person who always waits for the perfect signal.